In the heart of America's industrial boom, there was one rule: faster is better. Factories churned out goods 24/7, and the deadlines were king. Safety? That was often an afterthought. This obsession with speed led to one of the nation's most devastating, and the most forgotten, disasters. Imagine a massive construction project, so ambitious it dwarfed everything around it. It was designed to hold vast quantities of volatile materials, the very stuff that fueled both industry and the war. Engineers on the ground saw the warning signs. They knew the structure wasn't ready, that it was being built too fast, with too many corners cut. They raised the alarm, pleading for more time, for a safety review. Their warnings were dismissed. The project had to be finished, no more matter the cost. Indeed, the cost was catastrophic. One evening, as families sat down for dinner, a strange tremor ran through the ground for miles around. It was subtle at first, then stronger. Suddenly, a blinding flash of white light turned night into day, followed by a deafening explosion. The blast wave was apocalyptic. It was so powerful that it shattered windows in towns miles away, the sound echoing across the landscape like the end of the world. Buildings closer to the site were simply flattened. Fires erupted instantly, spreading with terrifying speed through the wreckage. In those first few seconds, hundreds of lives were extinguished. Thousands more were left with horrific injuries, caught in the inferno. The scene was one of unimaginable chaos and destruction. But what happened in the aftermath was, in some ways, even more disturbing. Almost immediately, a wall of silence descended. Officials locked down the entire area, restricting access to anyone without authorization. Journalists who rushed to the scene were turned away, their cameras and photographs confiscated. A strange and chilling narrative began to form. The official death toll, initially reported to be in the hundreds, was quietly and systematically lowered. The numbers just kept shrinking, as if people could be erased from history with the stroke of a pen. Survivors were put under immense pressure to stay silent. Families of the victims were warned not to speak to the press, their grief silenced by threats and intimidation. The goal was clear: control the story, minimize the damage to the company and the government, and move on as quickly as possible. And that's exactly what they did. Within months, the disaster site was cleared and rebuilt. Work resumed. There was no more memorial erected for the dead, no more public monument to their sacrifice. There was no more sweeping, transparent investigation to hold those responsible to account. It was as if the companies involved decided to simply pave over the tragedy and pretend it never happened. The memory of the dead was buried under a new foundation of concrete and steel. Ironically, the sheer scale of the disaster did force change behind the scenes. It became a grim case study for engineers and lawmakers, helping to shape many of the modern safety regulations we take for granted today. No laws were passed, and new standards were implemented, all because of the lessons written in the blood of those who perished. But the event itself, the human story, was scrubbed from the national conversation. Today, very few people recognize the name of this disaster. It's a ghost in our history books, rarely taught in schools or mentioned in documentaries. It was a tragedy powerful enough to rewrite the laws of the land, but somehow not powerful enough to secure its place in our collective memory. It stands as a haunting reminder of what happens when profit is prioritized over people, and when the powerful decide which stories are worth telling, and which are better left forgotten. Thank you for watching. If you found this story important, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more hidden histories.